the vaginal orgasm is what keeps the passion going, which is surrendering, allowing, and enjoying the pleasure, and letting the pleasure express the love from the man's side. So I will talk a lot about, for men, saying things to the woman while you're having sex with her. I love you. You're beautiful. I'm so lucky I married you. You're the most special person in my life. I went to the store today and did this because I wanted you to have a nice evening. What I did for you today or this last week. This is silly, kind of sounds silly. It sounds silly even as I say it as a man. But when I say this stuff in my seminars and I said, how many women would like to hear stuff like that in sex? And they all raise their hand in an instant. Men don't realize the power of words. If you look at actual pornography, the biggest pornography for women is books. It's verbal. And for men, it's visual. And so, in our short time together, how to create the libido, it's good communication outside the bedroom that stimulates estrogen in the woman and testosterone in the man. So when women complain to men, you're lowering his testosterone. Men, when you don't listen to the wife in a way where she feels heard, you lower the estrogen in her. When you get mad and argue, as soon as you raise your voice, her estrogen goes down and stays down in your presence. You got to have certain manners that will promote sensitivity in women and desensitive and detachment in men. You can't get upset with your partner. Every time you get upset with your partner, you're just cutting down your libido a little bit more, a little bit more. And it's paradoxical because in the beginning, couples have big fights and arguments and they make love and it's great. But then it goes away. The only reason it was great is they got it all out. And if you need to get it out, go to a therapist. Don't get it out on your partner. So arguments and fights dampen our vulnerability. Sex for a woman, for a man to stay turned on to his partner, she has to be able to open up. And he has to be able to get it up, but she has to be able to open up. And her opening up is she has to feel safe. Now, meanwhile, while she doesn't feel safe and that she's not interested in sex or not responding sexually, he can go online and have fantasy sex and have a huge orgasm. It's just like huge dopamine. It's addictive. It's a very powerful, pleasurable experience. Has nothing to do with love. Yeah. And he will experience, in a sense, for a brief, short period of time, the same kind of feelings he had when he fell in love with his wife. That newness stimulates high dopamine. Also, lack of intimacy stimulates high dopamine. Intimacy over time takes away dopamine because familiarity sets in. So it's guaranteed that couples will lose interest in each other if they're depending upon newness to stimulate their interests. So what does dopamine do for a man? It raises his testosterone. What does dopamine do for a woman? It raises her estrogen. So what you want is a relationship that's not based on stimulating dopamine to be attracted to each other, but it's based upon communication skills and roles which stimulate estrogen in her and testosterone in him.